Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action, and today we're back with the Zombie Pirates, the Vampire Coast, up against the Tomb Kings. This is a battle from my recent stream here. I'm going to be facing King of the Dead with my own Tomb Kings, and we've gone with a bit of an air build with Luther Harkon up in the air, 3 deck droppers. We've also got 2 Fell Bats, whole line of zombies, mixed polearms, and hand weapons on foot. We've got a Gunnery White and a Fleet Captain Lore of Vampires on crabs. And yeah, King of the Dead's got plenty of carrion. You can see 4 carrion rushing in here. He's got a whole line of Skeleton Warriors and Tomb Guard with 2 Bone Giants, a Chariot, a unit of chariots, that is, a Grand Hierophant Kotep, and a Tomb Prince. And you can see right off the bat the carrion are going to rush in and try and get in on these bats. This could potentially be a dangerous situation for me. However, we're going to get in here with the Fell Bats and the deck droppers and just put them into melee. We've got Overwatch Fire from the black spot on the ground, and we've dropped an Overcast Dance Macabre here. So all these bats and everything have extra melee attack. At least I thought most of them did. At least this unit does, up to 40 melee attack. So they're able to get some good damage done. You can see all 4 units of carrion. One actually already crumbled. The other 3 rather, crumbling already. So yeah, pretty advantageous situation for me. Meanwhile, you can see the Tomb King's chariots plowing through these zombies here, doing some great damage initially. This unit unfortunately got some nasty volleys from the black spot, and of course charging straight into their face. Probably not the best because they do have anti-large AP, so that unit of chariots pretty much going to get dragged down here. Gunny also popping some shots as well. You can see with the carrion out of the way, I'm going to send my deck droppers over to start taking on these Bone Giants. The Bone Giants themselves are hitting the deck droppers. They just took down a couple of unit models there. But yeah, we're going to rush over here and start to shoot at these guys, try and take them down. Meanwhile, zombies on the flanks crumbling quite badly, but that's fine. Harkon trying to finish off a few carrion do remain here before turning his attention to shooting at some characters. Speaking of which, the Black Spot and the Gunnery White going to start shooting at Kotep here if we can. He's going to go ahead and respond with a Sandstorm there. Actually, very nicely done. I do like Vortex spells quite a bit against the Vampire Coast because their infantry is so slow, can't really get out of the way. We're going to drop an Invocation of the Heck on this Black Spot here, try and keep them stable and on station, able to get some really nasty volleys there on Kotep. Very nicely done with the Incantation of Protection, though. Going to be keeping a lot of that damage from being too intense, so yeah, you can see Kotep taking quite a bit of damage here. The Tomb Prince, on the other hand, doing some really good damage to the Fleet Captain Lore Vampires here. Having taken quite a bit of damage, she's going to have to pull back a little bit. I tried to summon a few zombies to try and protect here, but unfortunately it's not quite going to be enough. The Tomb Prince is still able to get through, so Gunny's going to come over and start to block things up here as well. And yeah, you can see, looks like something's going down there. A taunt on the Tomb Prince to try and drag down his stats a little bit. And Harkon also drops down, drop a couple of melee attacks here. Nope, just kidding. Went back up in the air. Bit of an odd targeting there, but as the Tomb Prince starts to pull back here, Harkon and the Gunnery White will turn their attention to start firing at him. With the Chariot down, the Black Spot's able to stabilize, get back firing again. Meanwhile, in the back, you can see the Bone Giant starting to drop. One's already down. The other one is going to be firing into the air here. Unfortunately, not making a whole lot of great contact. And the armor-piercing damage, obviously, from those deck droppers will be able to take it down relatively quickly. Meanwhile, the Tomb King's infantry is definitely powering through. No question, it is superior. But Kotep getting continuously shot at from the air, and other various units with shooting attacks. So he's going to get dragged down here relatively soon. And one last Sandstorm before he goes. Let's see, he's got 14 HP, but he does manage to get the Sandstorm off here. Doesn't quite make good contact, but with the loss of Kotep, the outcome of the battle is probably going to be pretty clear at this point. Unfortunately, it is going to be a victory. Well, I say unfortunately for the Tomb Kings, unfortunately. Fortunately for me, it is going to be a victory for the Vampire Coast. I mean, we can just summon some more zombies here and continue to grind things out with these 2 characters on crabs, and of course Harkon as well, dropping that Hornswaggle and just finishing off that Tomb Prince as well, just to make sure that the leadership is going to fully just crumble away here as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, in the back, you can see the Fell Bats still having got on this Bone Giant, and I had a unit of Scurvy Dogs that I had Vanguard deployed in the corner, and then promptly forgot about in all of the madness of that aerial combat in that initial phase of the battle there. So very fun stuff. Just kind of goes to show the deck droppers are pretty powerful if you don't have the appropriate units to deal with them. For the Tomb King side, Carrion can deal with them relatively well. Unsupported though, like that up in the air, especially when I have a powerful character in the air and the ability to drop some, some additional units and some buffs to buff those additional units. In particular, that Overcast Dance Macabre really helps those units perform much better. So overall, pretty good stuff. Meanwhile, you can see the Summon du Shabti coming in here. Probably going to finish off this Fleet Captain if I'm not too careful here. But at the end of the day, the balance power is far enough in my favor. I'm not really too worried about it. Obviously, if this were like a campaign battle or something. But the Terrorgeist Breath coming down, haven't really needed to use that up until this point, honestly. The Bone Giants are down, so the deck droppers are making their way over to use up their last volleys here, shooting into this center pocket. So, yeah, you can see the Crab's going to be fighting to the end here. With all of the infantry gone, they are just tanking out the hits in the center here, but obviously a bunch of skeletons aren't really going to be able to do too much. We are going to summon up some more zombies before the Fleet Captain gets finished off, so just to try and pad out these numbers a little bit here, you can see the Tomb King's forces are going to start disintegrating at this point, so yep. Victory for the Vampire Coast. A very fun battle. Well played to King of the Dead, and hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. Yeah, this build more or less functions as intended. The zombies just soak hits and wear down the opponent, and then ultimately it's the Crabs, the two characters on Crabs, that are going to tank the damage, and then Harkon and these deck droppers up in the air dropping shots. Obviously, the Gunnery Wight can refuel their ammo, as they start to run low on ammo, so quite a bit of good synergy here. The Black Spot also quite useful in this build as well. Some good long-range fire there, and the anti-large AP means that they can be somewhat independent. As long as they don't get hit by too much counter-ranged fire or a good elite infantry unit, they'll do just fine. You can see Kotep 97 kills, though, with that double sandstorm there, so not too bad. The Tomb Guard obviously cleaned up a lot of kills in the front line, and even skeletons. I mean, skeleton warriors with 95 kills, you know they're fighting zombies or something. But, yeah, 62 for Harkon himself, getting a ton of kills there. The deck droppers and the Fellbats didn't get a lot of kills individually, but just able to do a lot of HP damage to the Carrion and then help Harkon finish them off there. The Black Spot also providing some very nice Overwatch fire in that situation as well, and then obviously helping to take down the Chariots. You can see one of the units of Chariots, 71 kills, the other one got just absolutely gatted down between the Gunnery Wight and the Black Spot there, and a little bit of an ambush. So yeah, that was a pretty favorable situation for me. Again, just neutralizing all the Carrion meant that my deck droppers were going to be more or less healthy. Winning that engagement up in the air was definitely very advantageous. It allowed us to just go back and take care of these Bone Giants. And the Bone Giants, I understand shooting at the deck droppers. He doesn't really have anything else that can take them out once the Carrion are gone, which is why in this matchup I actually think that maybe, obviously Shabti Greatbows they don't have quite as long range as the Bone Giant, but they do. They might be better at shooting aerial targets, at least the scattershot ones. I'm not really sure. I'd have to actually test that out. But Skeleton Horseman Archers are actually not too bad in this matchup. There's not too much on the Vampire Coast roster that can catch them besides, like Scurvy Dogs. And they can provide some pretty decent fire. They have decently long range and can kind of out-skirmish the deck droppers to a degree. So that can be somewhat helpful there, although deck droppers are a little bit overpowered right now. I know they're due to get some nerfs in the Festag update, whenever that comes out. So take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But yeah, from the Tomb King side, I'd like to pick up Kotep here quite a bit, actually, because he can spam those cheap spells and continuously deny your opponent the ability to cast with that Lich Staff there. So I do like that pick quite a bit. The Bone Giants I'm not as big of a fan of. I think you're better off just to go with a little more infantry heavy in this particular matchup. With Kotep, though, you can definitely have some fun with the double sandstorm. And yeah, we'll just keep him on foot for now, and then having a Tomb Prince to help guard him, definitely not a bad idea as well, or to potentially go after somebody like Count Noctilus. And then I actually like Skeleton Archers in this matchup quite a bit. I'd probably bring a pretty good line of them, a whole bunch of Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen, obviously. Tomb Guard will also trade quite well here, so I'll grab some of them as also. A couple of Skeleton Horseman Archers, and Ooh, this is a pretty wide army. You could actually maybe come in and upgrade some of these guys to various units, but yeah, like let's go ahead and grab the Regiment of Renowned Spearmen, and then maybe we actually get a Tomb Guard with Halberd as well, something like this maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing here at this point, folks. You could also grab some chariots. A little bit light on AP anti-large, so yeah, maybe we upgrade to some Tomb Guard, or maybe we come in and say, you know, grab a Tomb Scorpion to hide in the woods somewhere to then ambush or something. You know, there's some different things you can do, but potentially you might be a little bit lacking in the crab neutralizing power, but with the Blessed Legion, you know, you can kind of sunder their armor. Let's see, Blade of Setep, you could also bring this to sunder armor as well to help those skeleton archers perform. It's targetable on any enemy. It's only single target, but considering the Vampire Coast only has a few key high armor units, you can use this Blade of Setep to take their armor off, synergize that with the Blessed Legion here. Their armor sundering is, again, a -30, so you get -60 in total, and suddenly these skeleton archers will be able to perform a lot better against things like crabs. So something like this, I think, might be a little bit more viable against the Vampire Coast. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.